Good afternoon, young ladies, spectators. Warmly welcome to the second squad in the girls' singles event in the European Youth Championships 2018. In a few hours, we will know the top four for the semi-finals later today and the three medalists in the all-event competition. Everybody remember, those not in top 24, to remove your balls from the ball store later today. You will have 10 minutes practice. Please start practicing. And once again, remember to remove your balls from the ball store today, those of you not continuing. Second squat in the girls single event, European Youth Championships 2018. Top 4 will play later today, together with the 4 boys from yesterday, qualified for the semi-finals. We are not ready yet. Okay, be ready. Good luck, everybody.
So we're live again with the second squad of the girls team here. Just gonna do a quick look around, and we got a couple of lanes bowling. We got Lina on the lanes and Cecilia today. And on the Swedes, I think we should look out for Hannah Engberg. She was second before today started in the all events, and she's most likely the only contender there is to the all events on Jacqueline. So I spoke a little bit with the coach from Austria, and he said that she have to do 1380 to win the all event. So that's going to be fun to follow that. And right now, there's only been one really big score, and let me just get the scores up again here. And of course, Jacqueline at 1402. We got the 1250 from Peppy Constry. That might be enough. Maybe Baudin Kleil from. I don't think her score will be enough on 1331 or 1231. Peppy Country might make it. I think we're going to see at least 2 or 3 ballers going in this squad. They use a little bit fewer lanes today. They play a lot of games on the low numbers, which usually suits the girls a little bit better. The middle pairs is pretty good, and they don't use the high pairs of 17, 18, 19, 20. So I think the scores in this squad will be a little bit better, and we see a lot of good bowlers. One girl you should look, 2 girls you should look out for today, I think, is Team England. They got Izzy Allen and Sophie Thompson on. They're doing really, really good. I think that's a pair you should look out for. They're right now on 5 and 6. Of course, the Swedes on 3 and 4, and then we got the Danes on 11 and 12. The girls from the Netherlands the Netherlands been really, really good this week. And now I know one of the coaches, Jort van Veren, and I actually bowled with him. And he's a really good guy to see ball motion and what's happening on the lanes, and I think that's one of the big factors on why they're doing so well, because they make the adjustments, they're ahead of the game. Obviously there is some bowlers here that has a lot more experience than the guys from the Netherlands with bowling the EBTs and stuff like that, but I'm actually quite impressed with the team they got this year. Also was really well in the team event, won the bronze there. But yeah, I think that's the goals you should look out for. A little outsider here is on 9 and 10, Sara Sureb from Malta. She's a really, really good bowler. Would be fun to follow her and see how everything goes. So as I said, there's a couple of lanes you should look out for. One of the interesting ballers, as I said, is a 9 and 10 Sarah Surep. I'm not sure if she's going to have a score, but I think in a couple of years you will see her bowling on the European Tour. You will see her in a lot more events, and she's doing really good. The Danes had a pretty solid start. Cecilia had 11 and 12. She had 3 in a row, 9th best strike, and Lina has open strike spare double. So it looks like they are locked in now. And let's take a look. We'll do a quick update when the game is about to be over, and we'll see how the first game develops and see if the transition is the same the squad as the squad before, where it happens in the mid-second game to the mid-third game, and see how the girls this squad is going to solve it. That's going to be pretty fun to watch. So I'm back on now. We are finished, almost finished with the first game, and so let's look at some scores here. We got 9 and 10. We got Sarah Shareb. She's at 180, and that was the outside I was talking about. I think, let me just look at some scores down here. We got Izzy Allen on 215 and Sophie Thompson on 252, which is quite a big score.
Ja ne moram zaradi kamere. Allora. Ne mogu robiti u telefonu.
I tu još jedne svoje pise nisu nabijali, kako su dolaze već, meni se gdje govore.
One sta dve, ja sam sam.
Gdje se gdje primeni? Evo špirčao. To sam rekao prije sve.
To vidim. Ja smo pa uplati.
Alja, Eva, gremo. Ajde, gdje su bliže?
Plaću sam ga dobro predstavao.
Ajde, neko, daj. Gdje si bilo po njeg, gdje neće gre u glavu? Ajde, bravo. Bravo, pošto. To je mi ga stiti neki. Stiti za prostor. Evo ja sam mislim.
Sve on pisao Implas.
Ovo se govori. Ti mi meditira.
Ti mi meditira svak dan.
Ovo se pripravlja za sebe da će... Dobar? Vidu ti majico?
Ja.
Ne viš koliko dela?
Ko meni govori, da dela... Smo rekel, ja, itak ti sam ležim cele dneve doma in bolje on rekel, koliko več pa je.
So we're back on the live stream now. I'm sitting here with Megan DK. And we got a question earlier today about females two-handed bowling, and that's a question I have a really hard time answering. So so we got the question: why is there not that many females bowling two-handed? Is it because it's too hard, or what is the reason? Now you tried it, and what did you experience of that 3 months you were trying it?
Well, I only played it for about 3 months, but during the part where I trained it and played it, I found it very difficult because I got easier tired, and it was pretty hard because I was going to use more of my body, and it was just physically hard.
Okay, yeah. So it was the physical game of it that was actually
Yeah.
harder, and okay.
After playing 4 games, I was very tired. So yeah.
I remember it's you use a lot more muscles because one-handed bowling is swing, and you have to be
Yeah.
calm, and you have to be
But
relaxed.
in two-hand bowling, you have to have the speed, because I was very slow when I tried to bowl, and that made the reaction of the bowling pins very difficult.
Oh yeah. So getting the speed on the ball was the hardest for you?
Yeah,
Yeah?
it was.
So how did you train it? Was there anyone that helped you with training it, or did you just try out yourself, or
No, the coaches gave me some drills to practice on, and like 1 step, 2 steps, and I had to focus on the release and how to move. So it was
Yeah.
really difficult. It was like starting all over again. Even though I knew how to play bowling, it was so much different.
So how was your experience with actually learning it? Was it hard, or did you think that it's easier than one-handed, or was it easier to learn the one-handed game and get the speed up on that, or how do you look at it?
Well, it's a long time ago since I've started bowling, so but I think it's kind of the same if you start with 1 or 2 hands. It's just I think it's easier to play with 1 hand if you're a girl, because you don't have that that many muscles and stuff. And but though, in the other hand, if you start with 2 hands, because the ball is too heavy, it's a pretty good idea. So it's it's a possibility to.
Yeah, because that's a lot of the boys. They started bowling with 2 hands because the ball was too heavy, and myself included.
Yeah.
So why did you change? That's a question I wanted to ask you. So you were a really good one-handed bowler, and you did really good, but what was the reason you changed? Was it because that you didn't have enough rev rate and striked enough, or what was the reason?
Actually, it was kind of my coach's idea, because there was a time we were to a national team gathering where they told us that we should try playing with the other hand. Like if you were right-handed, you should play with the left, and or even though two-handed,
Yeah.
2 hands. And they saw me throw 1, 2, 3 shots, and they actually thought I had a really good rhythm in the game, and they saw a possibility to develop my game in another direction, because as you said before, there's that's not many girls playing with 2 hands, so it
And
would be very unique though.
Exactly, and I think the first girl that does that in a EYC like this will have a huge advantage, because on the European tour we mix boys and girls, so we will have the lanes break down a different way, because the men's obviously hook the ball a little bit more and often throw it a little bit harder. So, but in this youth tournament, it's only boys on one squad, and then we have the girls on another squad, and a lot of girls is standing to the outside. So they
But actually, when I was out playing in the DVA Junior Masters in Sweden, I actually noticed that some small girls actually played with 2 hands.
Oh
but
wow!
as I saw, and as I actually also think myself, it's very hard, because the girls, they were already tired after the warm-up. So yeah, but they're very small, so
Yeah.
they have lots of years.
Yeah, exactly. But I also think that if you're gonna do it as a girl, I think we're gonna see more and more girls, as you say, that's coming up and playing two-handed now because they realize it. But also, as you try it now, it's hard to change from one hand to two-handed because it's very different, and
You have to be very patient to
exactly.
switch over.
And if you get selected for a European Youth Championship, you just want to do your best, and that's probably not the right time to change a style, even if it gives you some benefits. But you ball a lot with one hand, and you're really good at it. Obviously, you won a lot of things and got a contract with Brunswick. So try to talk a little bit more about what does the balls do for you here. Did it help to get that contract and get some new balls in the arsenal and get some balls that's fresh?
Well, when I started with my contract with VBS, it actually I took off my, what do you call it? Den der skin.
I don't actually know. We have to look that up.
The
But
wrist supporter.
Wrist supporter, yeah, exactly.
So my game were totally different. I got more rev rate and I could use my hand more. So in that it was kind of better, but it was also difficult, and there was a lot of practice and training, just also physically, but also bowling.
So you made a lot of changes during the last year here.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm actually very proud that I actually could win 2 medals without my wrist supporter.
Yeah, but that's a big difference because what I usually see with the wrist supports now, I see a lot of girls on the tour having it, and a lot of them is going back to the other way as you, taking it off, because it creates less rev rate, but it creates accuracy. So you're
true.
able to have your hand in the same position every shot, and that's a lot of girls that doesn't have that muscles in the hand. They have a hard time actually getting on the ball and under the ball. So how have you experienced the change? Has it been a lot of sore muscles and a lot of training and?
It was very difficult in the beginning, but I knew I had to do something with my game to up, because it was either playing with 2 hands or taking off my wrist supporter, and I took off my wrist supporter because I wanted to give more
reps,
more reps and more opportunities with my game, and I'm happy with it, and I just need some more practice because, as you said, you need to be very accurate and you have to be very precise. And I wasn't that precise in this tournament, and that's why I didn't score that high.
That's usually just to clarify, that's usually what you're really good at. You're so accurate. And
I used to be very, very accurate, and I
Exactly.
was very safe, if you can say it like that.
Yeah.
But during this competition, it was a bit hard, and there was a lot of games you had to play intense, also in the semifinals, and yeah.
It's a lot harder because the consistency will go down when you take off and make changes, take off the wrist supporter, ball two-handed, and just that you had the 3 months period where you ball two-handed. That also means that you will ball less one-handed, and you skip the practice there. So you can say that you tried a lot of things, and I'm really impressed that you actually won a couple of medals here with all those changes during the year, because it's not easy. I tried it myself with my injuries.
But I had to take some chances, because if I didn't take any, I wouldn't move forward, and I wouldn't develop myself and my bowling.
Cool. So how have you, now I know you're really serious about bowling and you're really serious about the education and stuff like that, and I know you're good at eating the right things and doing the right stuff for the tournament. So how have your preparation been for this tournament?
Well, I have practiced a lot, about 12 to 14 hours per week, and that's bowling, and 4 to 6 hours fitness, training my body, the whole body. And I had this goal that I had to play my best, and in order to do so, I have to eat clean, and I had to have about 8 hours of sleep every day to be prepared to this competition. And most of all, I had to have a really good bond with my team, because in order to get team spirit, you have to be a part of it and really show you that you're interested.
Cool. So now I know. I've been on the national team myself for a couple of
Oh,
years,
really?
and back then I knew we were going a lot. We'll do a lot of lessons in communication
Yeah.
and how do you deliver what you're saying to your next teammate and stuff like that. So how have the preparation for the communication been, and how have you done it? Because I actually think your communication on the team is pretty good.
Yeah, it is really, really good. On the last two gatherings we had, our focus points was
Oh yeah.
was communications and team spirit and how to get the team to work good together. And we did that with strategies and a lot of drills together and playing against the guys as well. It was very intense, all the practice with the team though.
So now you say play against the guys.
Yeah.
So that's my next question, because a lot of girls they have a hard time when they're playing with guys because the lanes break down different, and usually you get a lot more left than if you have it as now where it's only girls bowling. So how do you see it compared to this tournament when you bowl the EBT stops or the Jet Tour stops and Junior Masters in Sweden? Do you see any difference from how the lanes break down here to what it usually does when you bowl? So what I mean is, do you think that can you stay in the same place a little bit longer here, or do you still move a lot?
No, not really. Here in this competition, all the girls are playing in the same spots and same lines, kind of. There's only few people who move a lot to the left, but comparing to playing with other guys, it's more different. They all play different places on the lanes, so it's more difficult. So yeah.
So how many years do you have left? You have one more year left?
This year and next year, yes.
This year and next year. So obviously we will see you on the team next year. You did already 2-3 EYCs?
This is my fourth.
Fourth EYC, so
This
you'll
is
play
my
your
fourth.
fifth next year.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Perhaps if the coaches cheers me.
Hopefully they will, but yeah, you're going through a development here, and you changed a lot of things, and obviously you need more practice, and you put the time
But
into it.
I'll also be participating to the EYC in June with the women.
Oh yeah!
Oh,
Wow!
yeah.
I even forgot that. Yeah, congratulations
Oh,
on that.
thank you.
So, and that's actually pretty amazing. So, are you looking forward to that and training a lot, or do you have a little break after this tournament to just settle down and
Without bowling, I will be devastated. So I think perhaps it will be a break for 4 days break, and that's it. I have to be on the lanes to prepare myself, and I'm the newest one. I've never tried to participate in the adult competition before, so
yeah.
I'm a bit nervous, but I hope it's gonna be alright.
I tried it myself, going from the youth. I didn't try it when I was bowling youth, and I had a year back, but I tried it from my last year in the youth. I played the EMC in Brussels for the men's, and that jump is a lot different for me, at least, because the atmosphere on the ball, there's not so many parents, there's not so much cheering. It's more calm, and the bowlers is usually taking it a little more serious in a way, because that's how they do on the tour when they bowl. So how do you see yourself fit in with the team, and is there any specific person on the team that is going to be a mom for you and help you come in and actually do that? Because on the men's team I had a dad and a mom that helped me get into the team and get in the right mindset, and that helped me quite a lot in that tournament.
Well, I don't really know. I know I have been to one of the gatherings for seniors, but as I said, I'm the newest one, so I have to be active, and I have to be including. Oh well, wait. They have to be including, and I have to just take it with me and try to be part of it, because we want the same thing, and we all want us all to get.
Yeah. You all want to win.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So it's a quite young team this year. a lot of changes going through the team. So what do you think about that? I think you're the only one that's going for the first time, right, on the
Yes.
team?
No,
Yeah.
no, Lotte.
Oh, Lotte, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're two.
But I know as well that Christine from
Oh, yeah, she's
the
going.
US.
Yeah.
She's going as well, and we have played the EYC in 2015 and 16 together. So
Oh.
I know her, and I know her like personal. So.
Yeah. So it calms down a little
Yeah,
bit
but
to have someone you know and you can talk
But
to.
I haven't seen her in like a year
Yeah,
soon. So.
Yeah. Yes. Let's try to look a little bit on the scores here. See if we can get that up.
Okay.
Let me just see. Should be. Should get the scores up now. Try to get him to the average here. So here we got it. So Sophie Thompson from England had a 250 game in the first, and Cecilia from Denmark had a 219 game. And a girl from the Czech Republic had a 226. So now the interesting part comes. Megan is done with her singles. She bowled the first squad,
Yes.
and she's hopefully gonna make it into the Masters. It's okay, safe. Let's see what happens, but it should be pretty safe. So who do you think is gonna win this singles medal?
It depends on who gets into the top 4, but as far I can see and my gut is telling, Jacqueline is going to the top 4, and hopefully Hannah Engberg, because I've seen her play. I've seen her game the whole week, and she have a decent line and game, and it looks good for her.
Yeah.
And wait a second, the girl Pippi from Finland has also played very good this morning. So those 3, and let's see, and probably I think it's between Baudine from the Netherlands and Sophie, actually.
Okay. So that's your top 4 for the finals.
Yeah,
That's
top 4,
that-
5, yeah.
Exactly. That's going to be so cool to watch, because my estimate of the cut was 1290 before you started today. And now I think it's going to maybe be a little bit lower. Let's see what happens this squad. We got
Yeah.
some quite big scores in the first game. But usually we see that the scores is
Falling
decent
down,
the
yeah.
3 first games, and then
Mm.
the girls always score a little bit less when the transition comes and they have to
Yeah.
move in. They get some carry problems. Is that something you experienced doing during the squads here
Yeah,
today?
I did. Actually, in my first squad, I made 254 or something like that. And the next game was very, very difficult. The lanes were weird, and I had problems with the carry. I think I made 160 or 50 or something like that. And it wasn't because I played bad, but I had, I think, 1 or 2 splits and 1 strike, and rest of it was spares.
Yeah.
So it was difficult.
It's a bit hard when you get into the rhythm where you get a couple of 10 pins and you can't string strikes together, and you get that. At least I know this ball very well now. I bowled a lot of league up here, so I know that the pairs can be really tricky, but you
Yeah.
can also have a really good score. So and that's what we saw from the boys yesterday, that they actually figured out how to move in, and we saw it in Jacqueline today. I said it in the first squad that I think more girls should try to get left earlier,
Yeah.
because they will get the push from the inside, and they'll get a little bit of hook from the outside. It also depends how you bowl, but the girls with a little bit higher rev rate should always move a little bit more left than the rest.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we saw on Jacqueline today. And
Yeah.
then she just tried to stay up more in the back of the ball. It's going to be fun. We're going to get her on later
Yeah.
for an interview. And so how did you experience this championship? Now we talked a lot about bowling, but more the social life. Has it been fun? Has you been doing a lot of stuff, just laying on the room, or what have you been doing?
I've been a lot with my team because we have such good
So
social.
Yeah, exactly. So you socialize good with
Yeah,
the
exactly.
team. Yeah.
exactly.
So the Danish team or
The Danish team, yes, and I've talked a lot with William
Oh.
Svensson,
Yeah.
because we're a staffer together, and
course.
we discuss who's gonna post the different posts on Facebook and stuff.
Oh, so you make posts together and or
Yeah.
Cool.
Or I make him.
That's nice. So now you're bowling the Masters. We don't know who you're bowling against yet.
No.
But what is your game plan going into the Masters now? Now I know you're one of the best female bowlers we got in Denmark on the match play side, and you're really strong on that. So I have a good expectation for you on bowling the Masters, and I know you're really strong at it. So what's your expectations for yourself, and what is your game plan going into that?
Well, the Masters is the discipline I actually look forward to.
Yeah.
Even the most, because it's not just one game, it's over 3 games, and you have an extra shot and extra chance. And I really enjoy playing Masters because also the atmosphere and all of the
it's pretty cool to see the atmosphere here. Also the Masters, what I like about it is that usually we get to a point where we always get heads-up matches. So you compete against each other, and you can really see the fire in the eyes when you walk back. Now I saw you in Finland on the live stream last year in the Masters and in the singles, and you won the singles last year, which was pretty amazing. And I don't know if this is a fact, but I think you're one of the only girls we had that won the singles, at least in my time. We didn't have a lot of single medalists, so that's pretty amazing. That's one of the harder disciplines to get a medal in, where there's only 4 that makes it. But try to explain in Masters, what is it you like? What is it you do better than the most people when you bowl Masters? Are you just more cool, or what goes through your mind when you bowl a game like that?
Well, it's all in my head actually, because whenever I get a negative thought in my head, I just accept it and then focus on the job I have to do. And the last year I actually just smiled a lot, because I had no pressure and I had no expectations. I just tried to bowl my best, and that was enough.
Yeah.
So
one shot at a time, and just do your best every
being
shot.
in the present.
Yeah. So now we got the scores up for the second game here, and and we got some pretty amazing scores here.
Yeah.
Sophie Thompson from England is on 501. That's impressive.
Yes.
Now you know how different pairs is and how hard it can be to consistent score that high. And we got Hannah from Sweden. You mentioned Hannah.
Yeah.
And Sophie yourself. And we got Line shot a really big game now. So we actually, I think my cut number is going to be even closer about this squad with the 1290.
But who do you think is going to the final?
Who do I think? Obviously Jacqueline is going to make it.
Yeah.
It depends what happens in the third after the third game here. I have a feeling that 1250 won't be enough for Peppy. So I would go with, obviously Sophie is a really good contender. She's 100 over right now, so she just have to play 40 under for the next 4 games to be in. If someone else doesn't beat her, to beat Peppy. And Hannah, as you said, has a really solid line. She bowled solid all week. I think she's gonna make the singles, but I don't think she's gonna win the all event. I think she's gonna be chasing it, and she needs 1380, which is a really high score to win the all events. But I think she's gonna make it.
What do you think about Line? Do you think she have a chance?
I would say
Has a chance.
I would actually say I think Cecilia has a better chance of making it. She looked really good, and she's playing more to the left. I think we will see a little bit. I think Line is going to shoot one more big game now, and then I think that she's going to struggle a little bit with carry. If she solves that, I think she got a really good chance of making it. But the reason I'm saying Cecilia is that she stands a little bit deeper, so the lane will come to her. But she's going to struggle with carry because she doesn't have that high of a ball speed and rev rate. So I think this squad is going to be about carrying. It's going to be about who's going to make those spares, who's going to actually carry and keep the head calm.
Okay.
My guess for the finals here, and now I saw the Czech Republic ball. So I would say Jacqueline, Sophie, Hannah, and the girl from, could be Judith, but it also could be Susanna from Czech Republic. I think she's going to be one of them that's going to struggle a little bit in the third, fourth game. So I think the scores is going to be fun to watch in the third game, because I think that's where we're going to see who's going to fall down and shoot the 150, 160 game, and who's going to keep having 210s. And obviously Sophie is have a really good chance, because she's probably going to have a decent game now, and then she only needs 520, 540 to make it in. So Sophie would be a good guess. I think Hannah is pretty solid through the week. You mentioned the Finnish girl. Who was that? That was there's a couple of girls here. There's Elise from Finland.
It's because it's squad 2.
Oh yeah. So yeah, she bought the first squad, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, here we got that. So who's on average right now? It would be Sophie, it would be Jacqueline, it would be Hannah, and it would actually be Lena from Denmark. So it's going to be fun to watch what happens in that third game, because I think that's going to decide who's going to hit that transition, who's going to get in left and actually strike in there first is going to make the finals of those, because there's some pretty close calls here. If we watch Peppy score, she was not that consistent. She had 226 and she had a 170 game, and then she had 210, 220, 160, 230. So it jumps up and down a lot, where I think this squad will be more consistent in the scores due to the bowlers, and they only use 16 lanes. How did you experience the difference from the lanes in the low end of the center to the higher end of the center? Did you feel any difference, or was it kind of the same, or?
Well, we only played from 1 to 18.
Yeah.
But I actually thought it was easier playing on the lanes to the lower lanes.
Usually the lower end is a little bit it's a little bit earlier, so you get the ball to hook a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
And you spin it a little bit more, so it makes a lot of sense that you like that end. We saw a lot of the boys yesterday. They weren't that comfortable from 1 to 8 because the ball hooked so early, so it burned.
But actually on team, I thought it was easier on the lanes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
Because all the girls were standing in the same area, and we didn't really have to move that much because the lanes were kind of the same. So
let's see if we got any questions coming. Let me just watch that. I think we got some on the Facebook post here, and let's follow up and see if Christina was happy with our answer about two-handed bowling. So Colorman asks, why does it take so long to answer the questions? And that's because I have Megan in the studio, and we were answering one of the other question. And Chris is asking why is my bowling bag at his house, and that's because I'm injured and he didn't want to drive me to the airport, and I couldn't carry my bowling balls. So that's a quick answer. And otherwise, I think we answered Christina's question. Why is girls not playing two-handed bowling? Is it too hard? And I think your answer to it was it's a lot harder than playing one-handed as a girl.
Yes.
And my theory about the boobs and you can't swing the ball is probably not right. I don't know if it's possible.
I didn't struggle with that though.
That's perfect. So girls just need to go a little more to the fitness center, get a little bit stronger, so they can throw the ball with two hands and start as early as possible. Isn't that the answer that was?
Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
It would
I
be
agree.
nice to see.
Exactly. So I think that was about it. I'm not gonna take more time from Megan. She have to prepare herself for the Masters now, and as she said earlier, she's eating clean and she needs to get some food, and everything is good. And thank you for your time. I wish you the best of luck in the Masters.
Thanks.
seconds. After 2 3 strike.
So we're back with some scores here, and Sophie Thompson from England is on 7:15. Right now on the average, Jacqueline Vittori is second, and Hanna Engberg from Sweden is on 6:62. And Susanna Ulierova from Czech Republic, the girl I was mentioning, I think we're going to see a decrease in her score now. She's throwing it a little bit more straight, and I think she's going to get caught up a little bit in the oil, but she's at 6:47. Cecilia had 2:13 this game. That's the girl I was mentioning from Denmark. I think got a pretty solid chance. She hooks it a bit more than most girls, and she's pretty solid through all of it. So if she keeps the pace now, she's on 70 over, 60 over, something like that. So that's pretty cool. I will be back with an update after this game, and I'm just having a chat with Megan again, and she did a really good interview. So I'm looking forward to listening a little deeper into what her thoughts was, and I'll try to comment on it next time I go on the stream. So look forward to that, and I'll be back when the game is almost over. So we're back with the scores for the fourth game now, and Sophie Thompson had a 195 game, so she's on 910. Right now, Jacqueline is leading on average, and Sophie Thompson is second. Cecilia from Denmark is third. She has 882. My prediction about her was pretty good. Looks like she paced 210, 210, 210, and now she had a 230 game, almost 240. So it looks like she locked in. Hannah Ingberg from Sweden just had a 180 game, so she's about 40 over. So I think the cut will rise a little bit. I'm not sure if between Peppy and Hannah right now, and Susanna just had a 180 game. Judith had 2-0. So there's a couple of contenders, but it's going to be fun to watch the last two games now. Let's try to look the girls all events now. And right now the cut for top 24 on average is 187.6 pins before the last two games, and that's Daria Nedoseva from Russia. And yeah, so let's follow that and see what the cut is going to be for the girls, and hopefully we get some Danes in the cut. Lena's in right now, Megan is in. We actually got all 4 Danes in, I think. Let me look here. No, Cecilia's in, yeah. So we got all Danes in the cut right now for the girls, which is pretty impressive. So hope they can stay there.
C'est 18 parties, bah non, je vais remplacer. C'est parti, on va le faire d'un week-end.
med, Nora.
So now we got the scores up for the 5th game, and we got Jacqueline is first on average, Sophie is on 1118 points second, and Cecilia from Denmark is third on 1066, and then we have Hannah Engberg from Sweden, that's 1056, and Judy Freeman from Sweden on 1055, and of course Peppy Constry on 50 over, so it's going to be pretty close. This cut is probably going to be either 50 over or how the pace is going to be now, and it's going to be fun to watch the ballers. I'm going to take a quick look at how they ball, and I'll be back with an update in about 2 or 3 minutes. So I'm back on the live stream now. I just had a chat with 2 of the Danish players, Megan and Andreas. And Andreas is out of the Masters, so he's out of the championships now. And we're not going to see him on the lanes anymore. Megan most likely is going to make the Masters, so we will see her on later on tonight. And quick update here. They start at this last game. So Hannah Engberg from Sweden started with a double on lane 13-14, and let me just take a quick look here, walk down a little bit. So the Danish girls is on 5 and 6, and Cecilia is taking her shot now. She's on spare, so a solid start for her. As we mentioned, she should be okay and should be in the cup with a 2-0 game now. Depends on the other scores, of course, but my prediction is if she shoots 190 2-0 right now, she should be pretty close to making a singles finals. And now she struck, so she's looking pretty solid. She looks like she's locked in. Hannah Engberg from Sweden looks like she's gonna start striking a little bit now. I'll try to see if I can get some scores up on the all events. So Hannah Engberg is on 3 in a row now. And let's look at this. Right now, by average, Mika Gullbeck is second. So she's in the position to win the silver in the all events here. And Hannah Engberg needs 200 and is that 240? No, 237. So she needs 238 pins to beat Mika in the all events. And Sophie Thompson needs to beat Hannah Engberg with at least 31 pins this game to overtake the third place. And she also got minor chance to beat Mika. I wouldn't say that's a solid chance. She needs let me look at that. She needs 279 this game, or at least 270. And Cecilia is on a double now, so she's on spare double, which puts her in quite a good position. Hannah Engberg strikes too. She's on 4 in a row. So she's actually looking pacing a 220 game with spares now. So she only needs one more strike or double to be in the position to overtake the second place in the all events. So we got a question from Christopher Sloan. What are you hiding? To be fair, I'm not hiding anything here. Chris was supposed to bring my back home, and he didn't do it. So I'm looking forward to meeting him in Denmark when he brings my back home. Now we got this in live stream, so thank you for that, Chris. And then we got a question from Ian saying doing some bad stuff. No, I'm actually not doing some bad stuff here. I had a really good interview with Andreas and Megan, and you can listen to Megan on the live stream a little bit earlier today. I think it was game 3. After this squad, we're gonna get Jacqueline Vitora from Austria on with her coach Benjamin, and we're going to ask them a couple of questions about how does it feel to shoot 1400, and and how did she prepare and stuff like that. So a little bit more on Benjamin's role on the team and stuff like that. So be ready after this. We'll get them in the studio and we'll do a quick interview with them. Let's have a look here. So Hannah Engberg 8 spare, so she needs one more double right now to be in the position to beat Mika. Maybe a triple actually, I can't really count that out. Cecilia Dam put down a 10 pin. See if she spares that one. So Cecilia spared that one, so she's pacing 200 right now. She just needs to spare out. It should be pretty safe that she's gonna make it. Sophie Thompson had a bit of a rough start here. She had open, spare, spare, spare. So she will still make it with a 180 game. So she should be pretty safe in. So I don't think we should focus that much on her. I also think she's going to be a safe second seed. And then we got Cecilia and Hannah. So the two Swedes, Judith and Hannah, is on 55 over, 56 over. Judith is struggling a little bit right now. She have open, 3 in a row, open, and a 10 pin. And Hannah is doing a lot better. She has 4 in a row, spare, spare. And Cecilia is on spare, spare, double, spare, strike. So right now it looks like we're gonna have Jacqueline Ventura first, Sophie Thompson second, and either Cecilia or Hannah 4th and 3rd. So I'll give you a quick update in the 8th or 9th frame, and we're gonna take a little break. And Hannah Engberg needs 237 points to beat Mika Goldbeck in the all events, which means she will take the silver. Or, of course, we have Sophie Thompson from England that had a little chance, but she's struggling quite a bit now. She's on a strike now, and it'll be fun to follow the all events. I think it's going to be between Mika and Hannah Engberg who's going to have the silver and the bronze. And congratulations to Jacqueline Ventura from Austria with the gold. Nobody can beat her. And as you can hear in the crowd here, Cecilia just doubled. So she's on a spare spare double 9 spare double, which is putting her in a 2 high 10 pace. And looks pretty solid, and she's right now on average in top 8 in the Masters too, which means that she will bowl later tomorrow. She will jump in the top 8, if I'm not wrong. At least that was the way with the boys. And of course, it's going to be really fun to see how they handle match play later on today. We're getting the boys on the Masters later tonight, and we'll get the single finals going. So it's going to be really exciting day, and also a long day. So let's look forward to that, and keep asking questions on the stream and on my post on Facebook. And hopefully I'll answer everything you got. Sorry to Colin Cloak for being so bad at answering and a little bit slow. I hope your dart question yesterday was answered properly. And of course the curry question. I actually had a curry yesterday, so that was a good small curry I had there. That was really nice. So Hannah Engberg put a 3-pin down right now. So she's looking at 220. She has to double. Wait a minute. Yeah, she has to double, I think. To be in. Let me watch this. No, she actually have to strike out now. If I'm not wrong, to beat Mika. So now we got the all event confirmed that Hannah Engberg can't catch Mika from Denmark. So Mika is gonna win the silver in the all events, and Cecilia is on a triple now. So it looks pretty strong for her. And let's see this shot, hook. And Cecilia struck again, which means that she's in the single finals now. So congratulations to her. That's 2 more medals for Denmark. And Hannah Engberg from Sweden got an open now. She can still make it in. Yeah, she's also gonna make it, I think, into the top 4. So I just think the calculations is okay with Sophie, Jacqueline first, Sophie second, and then I think Cecilia from Denmark is gonna be 3rd, and then Hannah Engberg from Sweden 4th. Yeah, Judy Freeman from Sweden is gonna have a 190 or a 160 game now, 169. It's pretty fun to watch the girls ball today, I think, because see some good scores and jumped up a little bit now, and hopefully we'll see some medals of the highest carat to Denmark later on. And of course we're going to have the master step, as I said, and first of all we're going to have the interview with Jacqueline, which had the massive score of 14.02 today, which is incredible for a girl to score on this. At least I believe so. So I think it's going to be a fun interview to hear what's the preparation, how did she solve it, and did she find out a line or a ball that worked phenomenal for her now, and did she do anything different, or did she just ball better today? I'm looking forward to hearing that. So it looks like Cecilia is going to have a 250 game now. She's on 198 in the 8th and a double, which she's at least a 240, maybe a 258 if she strikes out. And that's going to put her on 1320-ish. And really fun to watch her. We've seen some better scores today from the girls than we usually, or we have done the rest of the week. So they develop in the game and they try to get better ball changes and actually move ahead of the game. So that's pretty fun to watch. So Cecilia is going to have 250 something this game. She struck the 2nd and the 10th. Congratulations with another medal, and that's perfect. So Cecilia is going to be the 3rd seed, I think, maybe the 2nd. Let's watch out here because Sophie's struggling a little bit. So I think Cecilia will have 1324. So she will have 1324. Really good approach. So Cecilia down from Denmark is on 1324. Let's see here, Sophie Thompson. Sophie Thompson can strike out 1324 for the 2nd seed. But otherwise they will swap around, and I believe we'll get Hanna Engberg in from Sweden on the Hanna Engberg from Sweden doubled. So it looks like she's gonna be the 4th spot of this. So as I said, we're gonna have Jacqueline Ventura first. We're gonna either have Cecilia Dam, Sophie Thompson 2nd, and we're gonna have Hanna Engberg from Sweden 4th. So pretty cool, and scores went up a little bit. So as I said, the 4 semi-finalists for the girls is going to be Jacqueline Ventura, and then we're going to have Cecilia Dam on second place, Sophie Thompson on third, and Hannah Engberg on fourth. And on the boys, we're going to have William Svensson, Tim Savenek, and we're going to have Gears Gritten. And I can't actually remember who's last seeded. Let me look that up. For the boys, that was yesterday, so I can't really remember. Boys singles, get it here. Yeah, Maxime Dubois is third. So we got William Svensson first, Tim Savenek from Slovenia second, Maxime Dubois third, and we got Geir Skrytten from Norway on fourth. So that's pretty cool. We're gonna have some cool finals. We'll be back in a little bit of time, and I'll comment on the finals.